Yeah, good morning, guys. So, I think yesterday we started about the Loadrunner concepts. Yeah, so we discussed what is transaction, what is think time, right? So, and before actually you start any Loadrunner work, first you need to have two documents. One is screenshot document, another one is this one, flow document, or you can call it as a performance test case document, or we call it as a click stream. So different names are there because it describes about each click. When the user clicks on thing, what should be the name of that particular transaction and how the outcome should be. So this is the basic things. And here what is transaction? Transaction is nothing but each user action, like when a user clicks a button or a link, that is treated as one transaction. And what is think time? Think time is time interval between two transactions. Okay, so, right. So there's something called pacing. Next is pacing. So pacing in the sense, by definition, see, let us say let us take the same application. I want to buy a flight ticket and I want to, so what all the actions we got? Right, these are the transactions, or you can say actions. Now what we said, think time is what? Time interval between action to action. So here I want to wait for some time, like this is a function where you put whatever the seconds. If I put 3, it will wait for 3 seconds, right? So the same thing in the script we will insert this. I mean, when you create Loadrunner script, you have to insert this in each and every action, like, so it will wait for 3 seconds. This is called think time. The time interval between two transaction is called think time. Now pacing means that is also time interval. It is a time interval between two iterations. Okay, so here what do you mean by iteration? Number of times when I run the same script. When you create a script, right, you don't run only once, right? I'll run for multiple times. If I want to any performance test, the test will be executed for 1 hour. Okay, so in 1 hour your script will run multiple times. Okay, so for example, this end-to-end transaction, like when I launch my application, and then when I click on this button, this it will take some time, right? Let us assume the entire process takes some time. So from that including the think time, let us say it will take 30 seconds to complete from top to bottom. Okay, so for each transaction you'll have a response time, right? When launching it takes 2 seconds, 2 plus 3 5, like that. So let us say this takes 3, 4, 5, 6, some time, and including the think time, if you calculate, it is taking 30 seconds to complete the entire process from top to bottom. So we call it as 30 seconds for one iteration. Iteration is the number of times we run. So it is taking for one iteration. Right? So you mean to say now to run my script from top to bottom, one time when I run, it is taking 30 seconds. So that means what? Every time when you run, what is happening here? You are booking one flight ticket, right? In this application. When I launch, enter my detail and I choose and click on purchase, what is happening? I am purchasing one flight ticket here. Right? What noise you are getting? I am not sure. Say this is our application. Right? I launch and I selected cities, click on this. Then I selected this, entered your data, customer data, clicked on this. Right? Now what is happening? When I click on this, I am purchasing one ticket between Paris to London. So this entire process, let us assume, it is taking 30 seconds. So that means what? For every 30 seconds, I will book one ticket. One iteration in the sense what? One ticket. Alright? Normally when you run your test, will run for 1 hour. Right? So in 1 hour, how many tickets will be booked? In 1 hour, how many tickets will be booked? Say in 30 seconds, one, right? So if I run in 1 minute, I will run my script continuously for 1 hour. So in 1 minute, how many tickets will be booked? 30 seconds?
2.
1 ticket. Okay, 2 tickets. Right? Now any performance test will run for 1 hour. Okay. So 1 hour, how many tickets will be booked now?
120.
120 tickets, right? That means what? If I just run my script as it is, you have created your Loadrunner script that will, every time when I run, that will book one ticket. Now, I run my script continuous for 1 hour because performance testing you'll do for, normally you'll run any test for 1 hour. I did the same thing. In 1 hour, it will booking 120 tickets, but your customer says that my requirement in production, my requirement is when you run your script, it should book only 80 tickets. This is customer expectation, this target. Okay, if they want more tickets, it is possible, like because you run with one user booking 120 tickets. If they want 200, you add one more user, so 2 people are booking at the same time, it will increase the tickets, right? But here they don't want to increase, they want less tickets here, because your client says that in the production in 1 minute only 80 tickets are getting booked. Okay, so when you run your script for 1 hour, it should not book more than 80 tickets, at least nearly 80. Then how do I make sure that when I run my script continuously for 1 hour, it should book only 80 tickets, not 120? What are the possible ways we have? Only we need to just deal with the time, right? So one time it is taken 30 seconds end to end. So what you may say that, like here think time I can increase, right? Instead of 3, if I put 5, 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, it will increase more time, right? Instead of 30 seconds, it could be more. But you should not touch the think time, because think time there are standards. It cannot be more than 3 to 5 seconds. Now without touching the think time, how can I increase the time taken to complete one iteration? So that's where this pacing come into the picture. So what do you mean by pacing here? So after running from top to bottom, like it completes the scripts after completing one iteration, we'll ask the scripts to wait for some time, wait time. That is called pacing. Pacing is, see, after completing one iteration, it will wait for, so here I'll give pacing equal to 10 seconds or 15 seconds, something. So to complete from here to here, it is taking 30 seconds. Then I'll ask them to wait for 15 seconds. Now how much time it is taking total? 30 plus 15, how many seconds? Time taken to complete your script is 30, but I'm making my script to wait for another 15 seconds. So total it would be like 45 seconds, right? Now I run this for 1 hour continuously. So that will reach close to this 880 tickets mark. So pacing is very important in your performance testing because your Loadrunner, just like a machine, right? It is very fast when you run. But in reality, they will give us the volume. Volume in the sense how many number you should achieve. Like they'll say that only 80 tickets should be booked. But if I run my script as it is, it will book more than 120. So when they want, so you have to make sure that it should book only 80. So how do I make sure? I'll put this wait time. After completion of one iteration, I'll put wait time. So that is called pacing. So if someone asks you to define pacing, how do you define? Pacing is we already defined think time, right? It is the time interval between two transactions and two user actions, and pacing is time interval between two iterations. Iterations in the sense what? Number of times you run, right? Pacing is a time interval between two iterations. After completing one iteration, I'm waiting. Next, second iteration will start. Next, third, like that. I'm waiting. So normally we have a formula to calculate this pacing. We discussed regarding workload modeling, right? So that is called Little's law formula. Okay. So what is that formula? So normally you can calculate user load and everything using this Little's law formula. So let me write that formula. I'll choose a different color. Yeah. User load equal to TPS multiplied by iteration time plus thing time plus pacing. Actually this is called Little's law formula that we will use. Better color. Yeah. So iteration time plus think time plus pacing. So iteration time plus think time, you are getting 30 seconds. Then pacing. So, and what is your expectation? 80, right? This number you put it here. Now I'm running with 1 user, 10 user. You put this in this formula, you will calculate pacing. Simple. Now your client says that you run with 100 users and I'm expecting a TPS of 50 or something they'll give. Then you can calculate pacing. How? Say I'll give you one question. So I want to run the same script with 100 users. So you'll put 100 here equal to, they want to achieve the TPS of some 80 or whatever. 80. Now how do I get this thing, iteration time? When you run your script, you will know, right? When we run our script, we know how much time it is taking to complete. So here I'll say my iteration time plus think time is 30 seconds. Okay. Now here I'll say this you can calculate by running your script. You can see 30 plus P is a pacing. Now using this you can calculate P, right? You will get this question in the interview. They'll give you these details. Now you can calculate P. What is P? Something like that you will get. So actually TPH, this is TPS means it would be somewhere 2.5, something like this. Okay, in reality TPS means what? T in per second. This is per hour, right? So here it will be like around 1.5 in reality. Now you tell me what is your P value. You can use calculator, right? 30 plus 1.5, how much? 30 into 1.5. You'll get 45, right? 45, 100 minus 45, how much? 55. Right? 55 divided by, again, you see, if you calculate this, I'll put the next step also, then you'll understand. Right here, the next step is 100 equal to 1.5 into 30 plus P into 1.5. This is how the next step. Now P 1.5 equal to 100 minus 30 into 1.5, how much? 45, which is 55. Right? Now how do I get the P value? I want to get the P means pacing value. 55 divided by 1.5. Now what is the answer? You can use calculator. I closed it. $55 divided by 1.5, how much? Around 36 point something. You'll get some 36.5. So this is how you calculate the pacing using formula. You don't just put some number directly here. You need to calculate. How do you calculate? We'll use this formula, and these data client will give. User load, I'm running with 100 users, I want to achieve this, and time taking is this much second, think time, and this is pacing. So pacing I want to calculate. P means what? Pacing. So this is how we calculate the pacing. We'll see that when we do the interview questions. Now you understand the difference between think time and pacing, right? Think time is what? It is the time interval between two transactions or two user actions. Pacing is time interval between two iterations. So think time you can give anything directly, you can give 3, anything like as per the standards. But pacing you cannot give directly. First you need to calculate. How do you calculate? Based on their expectations. They say that I want to achieve 80 tickets in 1 hour or 500, whatever number they'll say. And how many user load you are trying to use, 100, 50, whatever number. Okay. So this is very important, little slow formula. The next thing is parameterization. So what do you mean by parameterization? Specific to Loadrunner or any tool, parameterization is nothing but passing the test data, simple. So what do you mean by passing the test data? Say when I'm running my script, or this is our application, right? So here first action is what? Launching, right? Am I entering any test data here? No, I'm just opening the URL, right? Now then next step is clicking on find flights. So here actually I'm not entering any data, I'm just selecting from this drop down. This is not called test data. This data coming from where? It is coming from the server. You cannot change this. Whatever coming from server, we are selecting. Now next I click on find flights. Now you see this, right? Here also, am I entering any data here? Nothing. What I need to do here, I need to choose or select whatever the airlines I want. So here also I'm not typing anything, entering anything. But here you are entering your details, right? This is called test data, right? So why you need to do the parameterization? Because here you are not the only one, right? Say for example, this is when you create the script. Where is this? Yeah. Let me take this. So this page, you are entering the data, right? So normally how people will enter, so single person you are entering. So you will enter your data through this, it goes to where? It goes to the database. Any test data that will go to where? It will go to the database server. Okay. So you are entering this. Sorry. These details you are entering, right? And these details at the end of that goes to database server. Right? So whatever data, but when we are using Loadrunner, right? So I have already created this script. So every time when I run, it will repeat the same thing, right? Record and replay. So when you enter the name like Nilesh Amirpet, second time also it will go same Nilesh Amirpet, right? But actually what I want to do is when I run, I install Loadrunner, I created the script. I install this. I have created the script, right? So what happens every time you repeat, it will pass the same data, right? But in reality, do you think you are the only one who is trying to book? In reality, what happens? There could be multiple people, right? It's not only you. There are many people who want to book the ticket, right? So this person name would be different, right? His name details are different. His name details are different. This person address and everything will be different. These are realistic, right? Now how do I replicate this realistic scenario using Loadrunner? Every time when I run my script, it should pass different test data. First time it should pass Nilesh, second time someone else, Deepak, or some different guys, right? So this concept is called what? Parameterization. So what I'll do is these details I'll pass through my Loadrunner script that will be hitting to the database server. So how to do that anyway we'll see. But in reality what? When you run with 100 users, these 100 users will have different data, right? Or their details. This concept is called parameterization. Definition is what? By definition, I would say passing static. Why we are calling static means we are passing through Excel or some test data. Static test data through the script to replicate a real-time scenario. This is real-time scenario, right? Real-time what? People, there could be 100 people are trying to book the ticket. These 100 people will have different name, their credit card number will be different. All these things I am sending differently. Manually it is not possible, but in Loadrunner you can do this. If I run with 100 people, I can send 100 different records for each people. This concept is called parameterization. Okay, let me share this. Now the next is I think this is not the one. Already we complete. Yeah. How to do that? Anyway, we'll see that. Parameterization, what if I want to send any test data through the script, that is called parameterization. And correlation means it's a different thing. Let us take the same example here.